All right, Rich Ting, Dynamite Davenport, big film here, big part. How in the world did this ever come to be?
That's a great question. I was previously friends with Clint Berkey, and he introduced me to director Errol Sachs here, and kind of presented me with an opportunity to see what my take would be on possibly being one of the leads of a spaghetti western. And ironically, coming off another show of mine, which was a western, it kind of just felt like the universe was working in the right way, and I was already kind of dialed in, but not to the spaghetti genre, because this is obviously a lot different than the other western I had previously worked on. But yeah, just through Clint, and had an amazing conversation with the director early on, and just thought, why not? Let's give this a go.
When you first read the script, what were your first impressions of it? You're like, can I do this? Can I not do this? What can I bring to this? Because you did. You brought a lot to this that really wasn't on the page.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I was just really excited because having done so much prep work for this other western I did, and obviously switching genres a little bit for the spaghetti style western that No Name and Dynamite Davenport is, I was already familiar with it. At the same time, I wanted to represent, because so much of our history, and I'm a history buff, so I've already studied a lot of this stuff in this material. A lot of our U.S. history, through Hollywood's lens, I would say, has kind of left out the Asian influence, the Chinese influence to be more specific. The Chinese immigrants coming over here back in the late 19th century, 1800s, to start building the railroad and move east, basically. Why hasn't that been shown? Why are we, and I consider us we, as I'm speaking on behalf of the Asian American community, why are we always depicted as laundry people, laundrymen? Why are we depicted as always wearing the traditional queue with, what a lot of people identify as like more of the kung fu jacket, which is politically incorrect, but that's what people identify it as. There at one point were more Native Americans and more Chinese immigrants working in the West than there was white Caucasian people. Why haven't we seen that version? And why is that so weird to think that not one of those Chinese immigrants got on a horse, put on a cowboy hat? I mean, there was so many of them, you're telling me no, there wasn't one guy that did that, right? Yet, it's just never been shown. So when I got the script and I read Dynamite's part, and his just significance, I really felt that, and you'll see it, you see the first 5 minutes of this film, you immediately, all those stereotypes get erased immediately, because it just makes sense. So if something can get wiped out that quickly in 5 minutes and can honestly give a different perspective on literally Hollywood's history and portrayal of the Wild West, like what does that say, right? So I came into this with a very open mind, just grateful for the opportunity, grateful to work for Errol, grateful to work for Clint, but more importantly, just to represent, I think, a piece of American history that's really never been shown. And what a privilege to be asked to do this, and to just have the freedom and the creativity to kind of make the character whoever I wanted to make him. So.
Yeah, it's well said. It seems like this character, you could bring a lot to it. You brought a really comedic element to it. You were funny. Your martial arts background, you're super athletic. We got to see some of that in the movie. So really a lot of things that you're kind of into in your personal life, and you are in your personal life, you were able to really lend to this character, which we thought you knocked it out of the park, man. You really carried the movie through a lot of the scenes. I mean, no disrespect to any of the actors, but we're lucky to have you.
No, I think it's about the team. Like I said earlier, it's just having the opportunity. Number one, working across an actor like Chris, who is a Broadway actor. We joke about it, but he has spent time on Broadway. He's been in the game. I mean, he's really 85 years old. He looks tremendous for 85. So, I treat him as a senior, not out of disrespect, but out of respect. Okay, and when I first met him, we instantly vibed. I completely understood where he was going with his character, and it was great because Errol gave me the freedom to kind of go to places wherever I needed to go with Dynamite. And I think a lot of Dynamite is Rich, is me, which is You know, I'm a Gemini by nature, so a lot of it is comedy, which a lot of my friends know that side of me, but then the other side is business, which majority knows me from that side. And I just felt like, why not take advantage of some of my skills, and we can throw that in there and mix it up, you know. But it was just being surrounded by a really good group of guys. And I mean, I've mentioned it to Errol and everyone on set that having such a small, closed set for this massive production has been more impactful than being on a studio lot at Paramount, where you have 150, 200 people crew, and the product is not even comparable to what we were able to make here. You know, and I think that's just a direct reflection of experience, knowledge, time. You know, I believe no one on this set, besides probably John Wilkes Booth, you know, was a novice. You know what I mean? And I think that's a tremendous amount of atmosphere to surround yourself with, especially if you're new. You know, because you come in and there's a certain warmth and maturity that we already had on set. So for Eli to come in like that and to give the performance he did, like, I'll never forget his first read. It was incredible. You know, to be like his first gig, his first time on set. And I really think that credit is due to Errol and everyone who like kind of cast this whole project, because we surrounded people with the right people, you know, and it made me better. I'm sure it made Chris better, you know, but it also gave a really warm environment for people who were just, you know, starting out, and this is a great first experience for them.
At what point during the filming process did you feel like, you know, you felt not so much comfortable, but you felt like you were sinking into it? You're like, okay, I think I got a good handle on this character, and, you know.
Yeah, well, what's tricky is we shot this film in blocks. You know, obviously started before COVID, you know, worked through COVID, and after, well, it's still going on, but, you know, we just took all the precautions to make sure we could be safe and productive at the same time. So I think the challenge was kind of dropping back into that character after being away, you know, so many weeks and having to come back. But to me, again, it was this casting crew. You know what I mean? Like, I remember driving to set and trying to making sure I recalled what I had left maybe 3-4 weeks ago and where we were in the film. And that's just a reflection of trust, you know, because we shot out of order, as we always do. And I just trusted Errol to be like, you know what, he's driving this ship. So whatever we're gonna shoot today, I'm gonna dive in at 150% like always. And in the end, it's gonna come together like a nice puzzle. You know, so to me, there wasn't really, the hardest part was just literally that drive to set, because I would prep and then I would kind of get a little in my head driving to set about, oh my God, like, where are we chronologically in the film? Where are we going to? Sometimes I didn't know. But that's, you know, you gotta throw that away. And that's where I have the luxury of just being an actor and taking direction from producers, directors, and whatnot. And I just have tremendous trust in them. So to me, there wasn't really a difficult spot where I had to feel like I didn't drop out of character. You know, it was just weird because I think from start to finish, this is like a 2-year project. You know what I mean? So, but we just spaced it out so nicely that I was always in it in some capacity. So it was nice.
What was the scene you were most looking forward to? What was your favorite scene to shoot? Like one where you really amped up for, like, I'm stoked to shoot this scene, let's do this.
Yeah, well, again, because I didn't really know what was coming up in the future months, I didn't really have something to look forward to as far as like a certain scene. So I can only speak from like the moment, like, you know, I would get the sides and the scenes for the next shoot. But I mean, working with people like Tommy Rosales, who's an OG in the business, and, you know, had an opportunity to work with him in stunts like a decade ago, and to see him, you know, on set was always cool. See Vernon Wells, obviously, a legend in himself. But, you know, Errol had all these little surprises as far as like cameos by these, you know, great, you know, guest actors that would show up. And so I don't think there was really one scene that dominated. It was, I'll tell you the scene I least looked forward to was our finale scene, because I knew that was the end of it. You know what I mean? So other than that, it never felt like work, which is always a great sign, you know, and it never felt like I was wasting my time. It was, I wanted to be here more than I wanted to be on other jobs, you know, and just, that's just a reflection again of the people around, behind the camera, in front of the camera. And it was just a lot of fun.
DDIG TV from London. We were formerly talking before to No Name, who said that you guys definitely had a conflict behind the scenes of quite the interesting situation that I was just wondering if you know exactly what we're talking about here, and if you would like to at least defend yourself of what has been said. In the interview.
Yeah, I kind of overheard, and what's really odd is, thank you to the funding of this show and to Errol's like just overall support, that he always like located me to my mobile trailer that was really far off from base camp, so I never really had the opportunity to engage with cast like I normally do in a regular set. So I heard something about me, venturing off into other people's trailers and whatnot, and honestly, like mine was like a house, like on wheels, so I never had the urge. And then with my driver always on standby, I really, like, once I finished a scene, I was back to my trailer within seconds. So I don't know, I mean, it's a great story, but I actually had no problems off camera. If anything, I was actually overwhelmed with the amount of just overall hospitality on this set. I mean, we shot in 100-degree weather all the time out in the canyons, but to me, I was always cold because they had these portable air conditioning units around me all the time, and always kept me hydrated. We had a medic with an IV flow all the time. So it was awesome. You know what I mean? So. I'm sure, we got along with everyone, so I'm sure there was, where's Rich? Oh, he's in his trailer, kind of thing, but,
I'm sorry to, we have one more rumor that actually came from someone on Facebook. They were asking a question. They were wondering if the rumor was true that you had to have exactly 97 blueberries in a bowl every day you shot. I don't know what this is about, but
oh, yeah.
It was exactly, we just wanted to clear this information.
Actually, I did hear that.
Organic.
But I think the actually rumor was created because of another actress on set, but wasn't directly related to me, of course. I mean, there's certain things I have in my contract that, I wasn't able to really provide, which again, why is I enjoyed coming to work, whether I was on hold for like 8 weeks, he fulfilled that, and like I said, a 2-year project, and I've been on the clock for 2 years, so I can't be upset with anything. I can't speak for other actors as well. I mean, I did see some abnormal things. I'm not going to drop names, but I think we all know who we're talking about. But other than that, it was really easy going. It was we were in cruise control the whole time. So again, just really happy with how production went. I wish other casting crews could really take note of our craft services, for example.
For roll-ups.
Second to none. Our catering was just, I mean, one time we had the In-N-Out truck roll-up. I mean, that was always a gift. You know what I mean?
And breakfast.
Yeah, and Starbucks and Haagen-Dazs, Ben & Jerry's. I mean, I think I actually had to watch my weight gain on this thing more than anything else.
Do you remember Lobster Day?
Yeah, Lobster Day. I mean, I had to wear the bib, because wardrobe was very anxious that I was gonna spill. But I mean, what you see is what you get, and I think when you love something as much as all of us did, it really, and what happens off camera always reflects on camera. And I think that's it. This film is a direct result and product of just years of just having fun and wanting to come to set. So
Okay.
yeah.